Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. We're getting ready to play our next episode of Kingdom Death Monster. This is Lantern Year 4 for the Settlement of Ember, which is doing okay so far. We're about to hit a milestone event though, so we'll see how it goes. This is going to be an interesting year. So, what you see in front of you is the 4 survivors returned. They were greeted, and I did have some additional basic survivor miniatures, so I decided to pull them out. They were greeted by Constantine. This is now him, and by Nona, who we also have here with their lanterns. Now, again, these aren't really greatly painted, but they're functional, so they are coming out. I'm trying to make them a little dirty looking because they live in this place. They really don't have water, like fresh running water everywhere and all this stuff. So even though there's a constant storm and that, with this particular Gorm climate, normally there's not, and so I figured that these guys would be kind of dirty and ragged no matter what they were wearing, right? Anyway, that is that. So Nona and Angus, Nona and Constantine greeted Angus, Percival, Annabelle, and Shara as they return. Shara the Insane. She does really well with her terrible blade that she has, her rib blade that we took from the Gorm. And we returned to the settlement with quite a bit of resources. So hopefully we're going to be able to get some things done. Okay. So after they greet them, they go back to the shack where they're probably going to use some love juice or something. But our guys are going to move forward. So survivors return. Now we know that we take a look at what happens when survivors return. Well, there's really not much. As I go over our different innovations, there's really nothing that impacts the survivors when they return. It's more when they leave. So they come back. Now, one of the good things is, you know, Annabelle got that broken rib that permanently impacted her speed. We can do something about that because of one of our innovations. So we'll see if we get to. That's the question of the day. We're going to use a endeavor to do that, and that's the thing I don't know if we're going to get to. So we'll see. I think we will, because we don't really want Annabelle slowed down. She's one of our tougher folks, right? That said, we're going to move on. We're going to collect our endeavors. Here they are. We got 4 of them. Okay, so we're going to take those off the board, put them with our resources for right now, and that was gain endeavors. Now remember, this chart is great. It just helps you go step by step, and for some reason I feel good about doing it in stages like this so I don't miss something. Then we're going to update the timeline. Now here's where things get tricky for us. So the Settlement of Ember is at Lantern Year 4, and you see this thing called Nemesis Encounter, Butcher Level 1. We're going to do that. Okay. Now, the good thing is he doesn't appear quite yet. If you look at our board, you see that there's this line that starts here as we update the death count, and it runs along over here. So we didn't have anybody die. We updated timeline. We're going to check milestones and story events. That's what's going to happen next. But as you look across, this is here. So who is the Butcher? And here is the Butcher in all his glory. Yeah, I painted him up too. He's all ready to go. He's got these lanterns on his back and these skulls. He's just a big beast of a dude. And he is going to be right here. So instead of departing this phase, and we'll read the story event, but we are going to have a Nemesis encounter. So departing survivors, when they leave, they don't go on a regular hunt phase. Instead, they have to encounter the Butcher. Now this is a level 1 Butcher, so it's okay. And we'll read the story about why he comes to the settlement and how this all happens. What's the deal? What's the dealio with the Butcher? Well, we'll check it out. Like I said, we know this is coming, and we can get some things done as a result of that. So we go to our death count. We don't update anything. Our death count is still 0, which actually is not great because if you know the game, you also know that when someone dies, you get a new principle of death, and there's a couple of choices you make there, and they give benefits to your settlement. But we haven't had anybody die yet, so it's a good and a bad thing, right? Though we are facing this dude down over here, so we're very likely to have somebody kick the bucket on this. And I'm going to risk my 4 main dudes because you can't get attached to them anyway. We're going to have new people come in. They're going to reacquire all the gear that the old people had, and they might have some additional benefits. I don't particularly want to lose Annabelle or Angus because they have some really cool stuff. And Percival, he just got the best gear right now, even though he does have an accuracy. and he does have a lot of hunt experience, and he is proficient in the axe. I mean, those are all good things, but we're going to have to risk him in this fight because we need to defeat the Butcher. We don't want him winning. And these guys have the extra skills and abilities and stuff to do that. So, anyway, we updated our death count. Then we're going to go and check our milestone and story events. So what happens when you do that? Well, it says check milestones. The first time the death count is updated, we don't have to deal with that, right? The group will pick a principal. Yeah, see, so we got to have that happen at some point, but that's not happening yet. So then we're going to trigger any story events that occur. Well, we already checked on the Nemesis. That's going to happen. And then we're going to look at our new events. So the first thing that we have to deal with is always, because of the addition of the Gorm, we have to deal with the Gorm climate. So the returning survivors find the settlement tormented by relentless foul weather. Now we already know this is always in there, and we're always going to roll a D10 in the next Lantern Year. It always adds to the next Lantern Year. Now we're going to draw an additional one on top of this. So that is not good, but let's roll our dice and see what we get. Okay, Gorm climate, what are you going to do to us? A 5. Okay. I don't know if that's bad or good. I don't remember. It can't be bad. So, do you have Hovel? Yes, we do. The survivors huddle inside as razor winds and sickening lightning pummel the settlement. +2 endeavor results at home innovations. Okay. Well, we do have some home innovations. One of them is bed, so that's going to be helpful because I did want to. That's kind of enticing me to spend one of our endeavors on Annabelle this turn. Anyway, that's going to go back, so we have +2 to endeavors, and I'll show you what I'm talking about when we do the endeavors, which we're about to do after we do this next event. So we need a 4+, and it will heal all broken arm, hip, and rib severe injuries or ruptured muscles. And I want to do that because that will give Annabelle her speed back. Anyway, next thing we have to do is get out the event deck and draw the... Now, house rule, guys. It doesn't say to do this, but I always do. I've had it happen where the same exact event has come up multiple times in a row. So I always put the last event on the bottom of the deck, and then put it back in the next round. So we always skip it once. So there's absolutely no chance that that same event will happen exactly back to back. It could happen the next one, but not back to back. Okay. Open maw. A large stone face slowly opens its mouth. Survivors prove their bravery by running into it. This is a lingering effect, so it's going to stay, and it's going to allow us to do this. We can spend an endeavor to brave the maw. Okay, I've seen this one before, so roll any number of D10 and add it to the results. We can choose how many D10 we want. I guess if you roll doubles, though, the maw snaps shut, leaving you trapped in the darkness. You are dead, and no one else may endeavor here this year. So we can take a chance. We could put 5 D10s in there and try to get a 40, right, or whatever. But if we roll any doubles, we're hosed. So, you know what? Some of these are all not terrible. Like this one is if you have 3+ courage, you may roll again using 1 more D10. That's not great, not bad, right? That could be bad. Now, if we roll anything under a 7, we're screwed. So you definitely got to roll at least 2 dice, right? And then so you fumble through the dark, you get some other stuff, you get some vermin resources and courage, +2 courage. What would that do for some of the folks? That would do something for, that would definitely help Angus. I mean, do I want to risk Angus, though, running in there to try and get that? We need a 21 to 23, or 31, that's really hard. Days later, you return to the settlement with a strange sword in your hand, gain the lantern sword, that's a 32, 39, and a 40+ is really good. I'm going to think about that. It does require that we use an endeavor, so I'm not sure that we're going to do that. So now I am going to put the Stranger in the Dark back in the deck and reshuffle the deck. So we could encounter the Stranger in the Dark again next Lantern Year. But like I said, it's just a little house rule I do because I want to make sure we get a good variety of things that happen in our settlement. So now we have 2 permanent events that are out running. That's interesting. But that's it. That's the event. So we have the open maw. I don't know if I want to spend an endeavor on that because the first thing I do know that we're going to do is the thing we should always do, which is innovate. So we're going to look for these resources. We're going to spend them along with one of our endeavors. So there's that, and let's go through our resources and see what we're going to spend. We need an organ, which we have. That's no problem. We have a hide. We need one of those. That's no problem. And we need a bone. How many bones do we have? Let me see. We got 2 great cat bones. That's it. The lion claw is also a bone. Let me look at the Caterium right now. I want to see if there's something that we need. I don't have the Caterium out. I got to get that out. Here's the Caterium. So we have a white fur too, I think, don't we? I think we do. I'm going to look, because then we could get the white lion helm or the white lion. We do have white fur, so I definitely want to keep a great cat bone. Maybe I only can do one, but man, that white lion coat would be really good. I could give that to Angus or Annabelle, or Shara has no armor. We also got to do the white lion gear. Let's see, white lion claw. That's the claw. So man, maybe I give up one of the white lion bones. We also have the whisker, the golden whiskers, and the bone. The whisker harp's pretty neat. It allows us to change some things, to get rid of some things. And I know the butcher has some weird stuff that comes out. It might be helpful. Lion skin, 2 white fur. We don't have that. This is the one I really want, the catgut bow, and I don't think I have any sinew, do I? I'm looking through our stuff. We don't have any. No, we don't. We don't have any sinew, so I can't make the bow. Could make the king's spear. Maybe we give that to Angus, since I know the king's spear has some range, some reach. 1 lion claw, 1 great cat bone. But if we do that, we can't endeavor, or we skip building the lion coat or something else. So okay, well, we really can't build anything in the Gormetry right now because we don't have any Gorm stuff. But I think we're going to have to give up a great cat bone. Let me look at the stuff that I put in storage. Just 4 broken lanterns right now. We spent everything else. So I am going to have to give up a great cat bone. We don't have that weird organ that can be anything either, do we? Oh wait, I have some other things, don't I? Hold on. I did have an extra monster bone. I forgot to pull these out because we still have these 4 broken lanterns, which I have recorded, but I kept the 2 cards. We have the active thyroid, the stout kidney, and the monster bone. And someone said, shouldn't you shuffle these back in? And you can. I see these ones are consumable, so you need to keep them out. You're not. I think the intent is you're supposed to keep them out until you use them, and then you shuffle them back in. And there's just not a limit to them, so you got to do some tracking there. So I am going to use the monster bone. Then that makes it easy to do our endeavor, and that's going to allow us to get some good gear this turn. But we definitely want to innovate. So there are the total resources for that right there. We're going to put that aside, and we're going to get our innovation deck out, which is already up. Let's see, we're going to draw the top 2. I think I already shuffled this. We'll see. Partnership and song. No, I didn't. Well, maybe. I don't think I did. I'm going to shuffle up just because we actually had both of those on the last one, right? So I had to choose between that and one other. So just want to make sure I shuffled it. I don't think I did. You're supposed to. Okay. And so what do we get? We get Inner Lantern. This one might be. I know we're gonna get Inner Lantern. The Heart Flute's great, and it does some really cool things. But the Inner Lantern, it says the settlement finds light within all survivors. Gain surge survivor action. A surge once per round. You can spend 1 survival to gain an extra action you can use immediately. And then we add the Inner Lantern consequences. So Inner Lantern is going to be our next innovation because in fighting the Butcher, I want the surge ability. That is really, really important. Okay, let me get out the innovation deck and get the lantern consequences out. Okay, here are the 2 innovations that we get to add to our deck. One is scarification, which allows us to do these terrible things to our bodies to gain stuff. And this is, we can do an initiation once per lifetime, gain +1 courage, and roll on the hit location die, and you get something for scarring yourself. Okay, and then Shrine. I mean, it's good. It's all pretty good stuff, really. But then Shrine is really good, actually. It's the armor ritual. You can either gain insanity or gain some armor points. Anyway, those aren't ours for now. That is going into our deck. So I'm going to shuffle those in and put our deck back. Okay, so I did shuffle. I'm going to remember that. I shuffled, so whatever we do next turn is going to be okay. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to spend one of our endeavors for Annabelle to rest in the bed. She's going to take a sleep because it's going to allow her to roll in this dice. Remember, we get +2, so it's not terrible for us. Well, she rolled a 10. It doesn't matter. We just need to roll 4 or better with a +2. So for her to heal her ribs. So she has successfully done that. That means her -1 speed and broken ribs are gone. That is good, good, good. So she's back to fully healthy from that. And then we have 2 endeavors left. We don't really need to do much as far as I could do some scrap scavenging. We could use those 2 and use her matchmaker to get some more kids in the colony, which is probably what we're going to do. We can do this in any order. So let's go build stuff right now, because there's things we want to build. And I'll show you what they are. We're going to get some gear this time around that we're going to be able to use. Now remember, we do have an extra bone sword. I think there's a way to scrap some of that stuff, but I don't remember how to do it. And what we really need to do is get like the ammonia thing or something so we can get heat and get some better stuff out of this. And we've got some good stuff coming, and we're about to get some good things out of the Caterium. So not bad, not bad. Let's check it out. Hey guys, so just getting ready to do this, but in the middle of planning, I found out that I had missed a white lion resource thanks to a viewer last round when I was doing my thing. And man, one thing I don't want to miss out on is resources. I also missed out on a second iron resource, which I'll just have to catalog. Sinew. Oh man, that changes my plans actually. Let me think here. Okay, so now I've got the gear that we're going to be acquiring for this round before we get to the butcher. It's good selection. So first off, if you look up here on the Caterium, we got the white lion coat. It requires 1 white fur and 1 hide. We're going to do that. Now, I'm not exactly sure who this is going to. I think it's going to go to Annabelle. But I'm just going to put it aside for the moment, and then I'm going to show you what else we got. And this was the important one because I drew this when I was looking for the extra resource. Great cat bone and sinew gets us the cat gut bow. This is a very valuable item because it gives us a good ranged attack, like a really good one, way better than the darts. The darts only get to hit once. They're not bad, but this is way better. And then last but not least on the cat gear, we're going to do a great cat bone and the golden whiskers to get the whisker harp. It says, as an action, I can strum a roll of d10 on a 6+. I can discard 1 mood currently in play. And if I recall, I haven't fought the butcher in a long time, but if I recall, he gets a lot of that kind of stuff. So then we got 3 good items right there. Then, yep, going to spend an organ to get some more monster grease. Yes, I am. We're going to get that taken care of. And then over here, I'm getting another rawhide vest for somebody for some additional armor. All right. So those are my purchases for this settlement phase, and that's not too bad. So we haven't done all of our development yet because I still have 2 endeavors to work with, and I think we're going to use the matchmaker, and we're going to have some more babies in the community, or we might do the forbidden dance or the drums. We got some things we can do. Like I said, I got 2 left. I used 1 to endeavor or to innovate. I used 1 to heal the broken leg of Annabelle, and then we got some other things we can do. So now that I'm going to place out what everybody's going to get in their slots and make sure they're all equipped and ready to go, and then we're going to trudge on. Alright guys, I got everybody set up with their gear, and how this ended up working out was I gave Shara the rawhide vest, her rib blade, and those items there. She got some monster grease too, so she got some evasion going on. I gave Annabelle, she's got the white lion coat, which has this pounce ability, which means if I combine a movement and an action, I can move 3 spaces in a straight line and pounce on something. It's pretty effective, and if I do, it gets +1 strength. Eventually, you combine those with guitars. It's really good. And she's got these 2 skills. I didn't change anything on Percival. I gave Angus the catgut bow and the whisker harp, so that's going to help him because he also has his bone blade, his bone axe as a backup. We don't really need it. Got a lot of extra spare gear. I wish there's some way to dismantle those. We're going to have to figure out how to do that. And then we got 2 endeavors left. So the first one, I think Wild Crazy Shara is going to do one of these because she's going to be getting into fights, and she's the least armored. Well, her and Percival could do something good with this stuff. So she's going to do that, and I believe now she has 1 survival. So I was going to give her a fighting art, but I think I'm going to do the rhythmic trance and gain her 2 survival, and that cost us 1 more of our endeavors because she'll get 1 on the way out, so that will give her a total of 3 as we exit, and that would be fantastic. Okay, So that'll give her 3 survival on the way out. And then the other one is Percival. I think he's going to do the Forbidden Dance too. Let's see. Yeah, except he doesn't want to roll a 5 and we don't really get any bonuses. Maybe that's not the best way. When a survivor uses the synchronized secret fighting art, re-roll missed, so he doesn't have that. We could do the drums again with him. Let's do that, because he only has 1 survival as well. That'll give him 4 on the way out the door. We're going to do that because I want survival fighting the big baddie, so he's going to have 4. And then as we depart for this, Angus, I think, yeah, we do get to prepare for departure. Yeah, we do. So that'll put Angus, as he leaves, at 3 survival, which is good. And so the only one that's really going to be a little light on survival is going to be Annabelle, who's only going to have 2. But, you know, she's got the daggers, so if she can get some perfect hits in, she'll get some bonus survival. Anyway, guys, that marks the end of the actual settlement phase we're going to deal with, because what's going to happen is we have jumped up to here now. I've done all of our endeavors. We're departing. I started giving them their stuff, making sure, need to make sure to erase all the damage on their sheets clearly so I don't mistake one for something that we already did. Try to do that now. Yeah, we're good, we're good. I'm erasing it all while I'm talking to you. I got to update their armor because, for example, Angus has 3 again on the head from his skull helm. Man, he needs to get some insanity is what he needs. Yeah, so he's got his. Yeah, everybody's got theirs going on. I need to update Annabelle as well because she has 3 in the head. And now she's got 2 in the torso, in the body, 1 in the arms, and 1 in the waist. So she's doing all right. And then Shara now has 1 in the body, 1 in the waist, and that's it. But she does have the monster grease. And I did get extra monster grease, so we got 3 people, Percival, Annabelle, and Shara with monster grease. Because now's the time, guys. We are going to have our interrupted showdown with the Butcher. Yeah, it's not going to be any fun. Anyway, guys, I know the settlement phase usually takes a long time, and this fight may be a tough, long one. So we're going to end this episode here. Unfortunately, it's a little short, but that's okay. And we'll get on next turn with the showdown, the impromptu Nemesis showdown with the Butcher. And again, that is the guy right there. Tough as nails, really bad dude, man. It's going to be pretty exciting, and I hope we live. Anyway, guys, thanks so much. I will see you in the next episode. Again, sorry for the short episode, but I want to make sure we get enough time for that Butcher without giving us a really long episode, so we're going to cut it there. I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys.